Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm. Now, as you have just seen, I've done it again. I have forgotten to take in eggs away for a whole 3 weeks, and we've ended up with accidental chicks. Now, they're not pure because if you remember, Barry died last year or earlier this year, I can't remember which. So they are a Ixworth silky mix, which isn't ideal, but they've hatched, they're here, so we're just gonna roll with it. They're down here through this forest of stuff. We've got 3 chicks and we've got 3 broody silky mamas who are kind of looking after them, so we've got 1 chick each. I was a little bit worried about this hole down here because they were coming out, but actually, again, as you just saw, they've managed to work out how to get back under, so they just come out, come sort of peck around here, and then they just flip under there, and in a couple of days they'll be too big to get under there anyway. So it's a surprise chicks here. As you know, I've done it before, and I'm sure it won't be the last time I do it. The one thing I do need to remember is I need to put some water in there because my chickens have just got 2 big bowls of water that they drink out of, and obviously those chicks won't be able to reach it. But hopefully those chicks will survive and they'll do well, and we'll see how they grow throughout the year. Now we've got our flower garden on this side, but we're actually down in the veggie patch today. I'm kind of working out what to plant because it has got warm here, and so lots of things have started to bolt. So if I give you a quick whiz around, the cabbages are coming on brilliantly, but you can see that the red vein sorrel, which has been fantastic, and it's just sat there for months and months and months, providing me with lots of luscious growth. But you can see it's bolting, it's going away. So this whole section at this end is going to need something new to be replanted in it. Our little radishes are coming out well. Our carrots, we've got a nice line of carrots here. They're doing well. They're getting to the stage soon when I have to start pricking out. More cabbages romping away. Our spinach hasn't bolted yet. I'm picking it furiously to try and stop it bolting. But you can see our chard has gone mental and is again bolting. Looks beautiful though. I mean, these ruby stems here, and then we've got some lovely little yellow ones as well. Lime green, zesty yellow kind of colour. And I'm feeding the tops of these to the chickens at the moment. But again, this whole section here is going to need more things planted in it as soon as they go away. The kale has gone to flower, but I've left it because it's good for the wildlife. And as you can see, there's a few nice little kale leaves down the bottom that I can still take. And then finally, the broad beans. Guys, I'm not great with broad beans when you're transplanting them. Mine always tend to go leggy. The only time I've had really good luck with nice, thick, sturdy broad bean plants is when I've actually direct sown and then grown them in situ, which I think I'm just going to go back to because I always end up with these really leggy beans that flop everywhere. So I have started to get a few broads. There's a nice broad bean here, and you can see they're coming, but I just wish it was tidier because they've all really, really flopped. I could stake them up a little bit, but there's just a lot of bare earth here that could be used for growing other stuff. So I'm quite excited actually for when these finish flowering, go to harvest. I can harvest them, pull them out, and then start getting something else in. Look how beautiful these stems are. Great colours. Here you go, guys. So this little corner is my tree nursery, and these are the trees that are going to go up to Brimwood Farm to create a new little piece of woodland. And many of them are donated, so I know one of my subscribers sent me a load of trees from France, which was absolutely amazing. And then a couple of the others from the Facebook group and from Patreon have also sent me some tiny little seeds to grow on. Now, I was going to put these up at the farm last autumn, but when I looked into the price of stakes and protectors, I just couldn't afford it at that time, and I didn't want to put them all up there and then come in the spring to find that the deer had nibbled half of them off. So I decided to put it off, grow them here for a little bit longer, and then I'll put them up this autumn when I can get all the protectors and the stakes in place. We've got some lovely specimens. So we've got a nice oak. We've got this lovely ash. There's a couple of these will be silver birch. There's some, oh, I've just completely forgot beech. There we go, I nearly forgot the name there. Some lovely beech here. Look at these fresh green leaves, which are gorgeous. And then this is a little chestnut, which I collected a seed of and have grown on, and it's actually grown on really, really quickly. So they've been great. So they're all growing in this corner, which makes it look very nice and woody and wild. And then over here we've got our fruit trees. Now, several of you, including Susie St James, were desperate for me to hand pollinate this year, so I got some fruit, and I did, and I'm very happy to say that we do have some fruit. Look at those. They are going to turn into some beautiful plums. There's another one there, and there's another one there. And then across on the apple tree, there are some little applets as well, which I hope will stay on and develop into nice apple plants. Now, the only thing was, this year we haven't had a vast amount of blossom. The pear didn't have any at all, and the apple and the plum only had a little bit, but there are fruits. So hopefully, come the end of summer, we'll have some tasty little plums and apples homegrown. Well, I'm going to go and look after these beautiful trees, all this fresh new growth. I need to water them and maybe pot up a few as well, and just make sure they've got a full season of growth ahead of them. If you've got any saplings or unwanted small trees or nuts or whatever in your garden, please think about sending them to me, and I can put them up at Brimwood Farm. If you're in the UK especially, it's pretty easy to do. You can just send them through the post. Get in touch via Brimwood Farm's community group on Facebook, or just email me on YouTube. And we'll sort something out. The other thing is, if you do want to support Brimwood Farm a little bit more, you can actually sponsor a tree through Patreon, and you just sign up under a specific Patreon tier, and then your name will go on a plaque next to the tree for the duration of your patronage. So I'm going to go and look after these trees.